Morning, dear children. Hope you all are good. So, in our today's module, we'll be discussing about Bohr's model of an atom. Children, we had already discussed about Thomson model of an atom and Rutherford's model and their drawbacks. Now, the third model that came into existence was discovered was Bohr's model of an atom. And why it was discovered? In order to overcome the objections raised against Rutherford's model of the atom. So Niels Bohr put forward the following postulates about the model of an atom. And the first postulate was that atom consists of positively charged nucleus which electron revolves in discrete orbit. So atom consists of positively charged nucleus around which electrons revolve in discrete orbits. That is, electrons revolve in certain permissible orbits and not just in one orbit. So there is not just a one orbit that they are removing, they are discrete orbits. Second point, that the postulate that was given by Niels Bohr was that each of these orbits, they are associated with certain value of energy. So remember this thing, the orbits, they were actually associated with certain value of energy, and that is why these orbits, they are said to be the energy shells or energy levels. Now children, as the energy of an orbit is fixed, so orbit is also called as stationary state. So I hope these 2 points are clear. Like I would like to be explaining you like this: a positively charged nucleus, so you can see this is a positively charged nucleus here, this one, fine children, and around which the electrons are revolving. Second, they are saying that each of these orbits, they are having some sort of energies. So you can see here, starting from nucleus, energy levels are represented by numbers or the alphabets. Fine children, they are either represented by the numbers or alphabets that you clearly see here. These are the shells: K shell, L shell, M shell and N shell. Similarly, there are the energy levels E1, E2, E3 and E4. I hope it is clear, bache. Now, next postulate is the electrons present in first energy level have lowest energy, and energy is increasing on moving towards outer energy level, which means children that here in this shell the energy is low and the energy will keeps on increasing as the shell keeps on changing themselves. Like if in K shell the energy is the lowest one and in N shell the energy is the highest one. Now children, energy of an electron, it remains same as long as it remains in discrete orbit and it does not radiate energy while revolving. So when the electrons, they are revolving, they are not radiating energy, because energy of an electron, it always same as long as it remains in discrete orbit. When it changes its orbit, the energy level is different. Fine. The next and the last one we are having here is when energy is supplied to an electron, it can go to the higher energy level, while an electron falls to lower energy level when it radiates energy. So always remember this thing, an electron will fall to a lower energy level when it starts radiating the energy, and when energy we are supplying to the electron, when the electrons are getting the energy, fine, by emitting the photons, so it can go to higher energy levels. I hope these postulates are clear to everyone. Fine children. Now moving on to the neutron. So you can see here, neutron is another subatomic particle that was discovered by J. Chadwick in the year 1932. It is represented by the symbol small n And neutrons are electrically neutral particles, students, which means they do not have any charge, that is either positive or negative, and they are as heavy as protons. The mass of that is 1.67493 into 10 raised to power minus 27 kg, which is equal to the proton. So neutron are present in the nucleus of all the atom except hydrogen. The mass of the atom is given by the sum of the masses of protons and neutron present in the nucleus. So proton plus neutron give the sum of the atomic mass. Fine, children? Now see, here comes an important topic, that is the distribution of electrons in different orbits or shell. See, children. So how the electrons are we are distributing them in different orbits of an atom. That was suggested by Bose and Bury. For writing the numbers of electrons in different energy levels, there were some rules that were needed to be followed. The first rule was the maximum number of electrons present in a shell is given by the formula 2n square, where n is the orbit number or energy level, that is 1, 2 and 3. That you can see here. There are 4 different shell, students: K shell, L shell, M shell and N shell. In these shells you can see there are different energy levels, and N is different for different orbits. Like for first orbit it is 1, for second orbit it is 2, for third orbit it is 3, for fourth orbit it is 4. Fine, children? So 2n square. So here you can simply make it like this: 2 into n square. So n is here in K shell, it is 1. In second orbit it is 2. In fourth orbit it is 4. And third it is 3. So what will be the electrons accommodation here? 2 electrons can accommodate in the first shell. 8 electrons can accommodate in the second shell. 18 electrons can accommodate in the third shell, and 32 in the fourth, and so on. So I hope this thing is clear, children. Now the second, the maximum number of electrons that can be accommodated in the outermost orbit is 8. Remember this thing, it is 8. It means the maximum number of electrons that you can accommodate is 8. If it is more than that, you have to shift your electrons in the next shell. Fine, children? So electrons are not accommodated in a given shell. Just wait. Electrons are not accommodated in a given shell unless the inner shells are filled. For example, children, I have told you there are 4 shells. So one shell, just wait, let me decrease the thickness. K shell, L shell, M shell, N shell. Fine. So we cannot accommodate the electrons in this shell first until unless this is not completely filled. That is the K shell. So we should fill the shell stepwise manner, in a stepwise manner. Remember this thing. Fine, children. So now I am going to make the schematic atomic structure of the first 20 elements. Fine, children. So it's very simple. I want everybody to do it with me. Children, so now we'll be discussing about the distribution of electrons. Fine. So first of all, we'll be discussing that in the first element, that is your hydrogen. So in hydrogen, only one electron can accommodate. So we'll be making 1. Similarly, children, what about the helium? Helium, it is 2. The atomic number is 2. So 2 electrons can accommodate. Similarly, children, for lithium, we have to make 2 shells, as 2 electrons can accommodate in the innermost shell, and then 1 will be left, that will be in the L shell. Then, children, what about for beryllium? Beryllium, it is, yes, 4. Fine, children, 2 innermost and 2 the L shell. Fine. What is for boron? For boron, yes, it becomes 3 in the L shell. For carbon, it becomes 4, nitrogen 5 electron, oxygen 6, fluorine 7, neon 8. So up to neon, the electrons we can fill in the L shell. Fine, children. Now coming on to the sodium. So sodium, we have to make 3 shells. Fine, children. So how many electronic configuration of sodium you all know? What is the atomic number? 11. Fine. So it becomes 2, 8 and 1. So how many electrons? 2 in the outermost, 8 in the second, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 1 in the outermost. Then similarly, what about for magnesium? In the outermost it becomes 2. For aluminium it becomes 3. For silicon it becomes 4. For phosphorus it becomes 5. Then for sulfur 6. For chlorine 7. Argon 8. Fine, children. And now the last case is of the potassium and calcium. So we need to draw 4 shell here. Fine, children, 4 shells. So 1 shell, 2 shell, 3 shell and 4 shell. Fine, children. So here what is the atomic number for potassium? It's 19. Fine, bete. So just draw the electrons, fill the electrons. In the innermost shell we have 2. Then we have 8 electrons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then Kl. Then in M shell 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 shell again. And in the last shell we have 1. And similarly, what about for calcium? It becomes 2. Fine, children. So I hope this topic is clear to each one of you. Please practice it in your notebooks, bete, everybody. Fine. Thank you, everyone.